All right, so this video is going to be about finding intersection points, which is also called solving a system. So basically what we're finding here is if we were to graph both of these, we just want to find the points at which they intersect. All right, so I'm looking at this equation and it's in y equals format. I'm just going to get this one into y equals format by subtracting x from both sides, because then if they both equal y, I can set them equal to one another. So this equation could be rewritten as y equals negative x plus 5, okay? So since this equation equals y and this equation equals y, then both of these have to equal one another. So I'm going to set them equal, and then we'll see what that looks like. So I would have x squared minus 6x plus 9 equals negative x plus 5. So what that did for us is it basically got rid of the y variable, and now we just have x. So all we have to do is find a value for x, and then we'll be able to get y. So looking at this, when I see an x squared, an x, and then constants, I want to get everything onto one side because I'll probably have to factor it. So I'm going to add x and subtract 5. So I'm going to have x squared, negative 6x plus x is negative 5x, and then 9 plus negative 5, or 9 minus 5, is 4. And then everything over here we zeroed out, so equals 0. So at this point, I'm going to see if I can factor this. So what multiplies to be 4 and adds to be negative 5, negative 1, and negative 4? So then when I do zero product property, when I solve, I get x equals 1 and x equals 4. Now, these aren't x-intercepts. These are just the x-coordinates of the intersection points. So remember, we're finding the intersection point, so I still have to find the y value. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these two x-coordinates and I'm going to plug them into either one of the two equations, because if it's a point on the intersection, the point should work for both equations. I typically take the easier one, which I think is this one, okay? So I'm going to plug in 1 and I'm going to plug in 4. So y plus an x value of 1 equals 5, and then solve. So subtract 1 and I get y equals 4, and then I'm going to plug in 4. So that would be y plus 4 equals 5. Subtract 4 from both sides, and I get y equals 1. Now your answer should be an ordered pair because we're finding intersection points. So for an x value of 1, I get a y value of 4. And for an x value of 4, I get a y value of 1. So these two graphs, if we were to graph these on the same plane, they would be intersecting at those 2 points.